Hi, I'm Jared Falk, and in this video, I'm going to teach you how I count 30-second notes. Now, hopefully you've watched the how to count quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes videos, because we're going to be referencing back to those note values to help us to count 30-second notes. All right, so just look at exercise number 1. Now, I've written 4 groups of 30-second notes. Now, in each group of 30-second notes, there are 8 notes. Now, just like quarter notes, we got a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for every quarter note, we play 8 30-second notes. All right? For every 2 eighth notes, we play 8 30-second notes. For every 4 16th notes, we play 8 30-second notes. Okay, so for every 1 16th note, we play 2 30-second notes. So it's simple as that. I don't want to get too much into the math side of all this, but I more just want to teach you how they sound and how to count them and help you identify them when you're listening to music and trying to figure out songs and stuff like that. So, yeah, just take a look at exercise 1. You'll notice I've just written in a counting thing every other beat. So I'm counting these the same as I count 16th notes. And they're basically double the speed of 16th notes when you actually put it to a metronome. So the way I count them is I'm going to count exactly with my right hand, because my right hand is going to be playing on all the 16th notes. Okay, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And then basically I'm just going to fill in with my left hand. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, so it's really, really simple. If you just think of it as playing 16th notes with my one hand, and now I'm filling in the gaps with my left hand. Now you're playing 30-second notes. Now, if you slow down the metronome to like 30 beats per minute, they're going to feel like 16th notes, or even like 8th notes if you go slow enough. But we're going to keep it consistent at 70 beats per minute, and I'm going to show you how this sounds played along with a click. Now just watch my right hand. My right hand is going to be going on all those 16th notes, and try to count along with it. Just count along 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Here we go. The next exercise, we're actually going to go from 16th notes into 30-second notes. We have 2 groups of 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, and then 2 groups of 30-second notes. Now we're going to be doing these all alternating hands. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Okay, here we go. So once you just understand that 30-second notes are just double the speed of 16th notes, they actually are really, really easy to do and really, really easy to incorporate into your drumming. But I still want to kind of show you guys how they relate to other note values, because moving from something like a quarter note or eighth notes into 30-second notes can be a little bit more challenging. So that's why I wrote exercise number 3. We start off with just a single quarter note, move to 2 eighth notes, to 4 16th notes, and then to a group of 30-second notes. Now the way I count these is I count 1, 2, and 3, and a 4 E, and a 1, 2, and 3, and a 4 E, and a. What you can also do is you can count them 1 E, and a 2 E, and a 3, and a 4 E, and a. And then just play what is actually written. But I'm going to play it for you guys at 70 beats per minute, and you can check out how it sounds. Number 4 is created to give you a good example of how I like to use 30-second notes around the kit. You'll notice I don't do a lot of just constant, fast, crazy rolls like that. And so I kind of throw them in and add them to my 16th note fills to kind of add a little bit more dimension, a little bit more dynamics, a little bit more fluidity around the kit. And I just think it all They work really, really well when you incorporate them this way. So we basically start with a group of 4 30-second notes. Now that is only half of a beat, right? Because we'll know that for 4 30-second notes, there's only 1/8 note, or is only 2 16th notes, and it's not even a full quarter note, it's only half of a quarter note, which is an 1/8 note. So we got a group of 4 30-second notes and then 2 16th notes, and that closes that one count. And we're basically just kind of throwing this pattern in there in many different ways. So we've got a group of 4 30-second notes, 2 16th notes, then 2 16th notes, 4 30-second notes, 2 16th notes, 4 30-second notes, and then 2 16th notes, 4 30-second notes. And then when the pattern kind of comes around, you'll notice there you'll have to play 8 30-second notes in a row. So let me stop talking about it because I'm probably just confusing you, and I apologize if I am. But I'm just going to play it for you guys with a metronome, and you can hear how it sounds in context. And if you're having problems with that, there's nothing wrong with starting out even way slower than that. You should hear how slow I start out some of the grooves that I'm learning. It's just insane. You can't even tell that it's a groove I'm playing. It just sounds so horribly slow. But what I would do is I would count it like this. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and that's how it counts. And that's really, really slow, but you're going to build the muscle memory to actually play something like that and then eventually start moving around the kit, all right? So next, we're actually going to start incorporating this into our fills around the drums. So we've got a beat for the first bar, just a basic 8th note beat, and then we got the different groups of 30-second notes incorporating 16th notes as well. So I'm just going to show you guys how it sounds. I know you guys are going to get in the concept of this already, especially if you've already studied the quarter note, 8th note, and 16th note videos. So here we go. For the 6th and final exercise, we're actually going to be adding in some rests into our groupings of 8 30-second notes. So I haven't actually added in any 30-second note rests just because it's not something I've seen a lot of, and I didn't really think it was necessary at this point. So what I've done is I've added in just 8th note rests, which is going to bring our groups of 30-second notes down to just 4 notes. All right, so this fill is going to feel somewhat spacious in between, but then it's going to have quick bursts. So let me show you exactly how it sounds. With all these exercises, like I said, it's important just to start them slow and count out loud. So print off the sheet music, take it to your kit, or take it, sit in front of the TV, and just learn the rhythms. And I've said it in all the other videos, but if you start out with this foundation of knowing the note values, it's going to be way easier for you to learn certain things, like more complex rhythms in Latin and jazz, and it's going to be easy for you to pick up songs and learn fills in songs. I know a lot of people are saying, I need to know this fill at the 1 minute and 15 mark in this song. And it's just like, well, all you need to know is the note values. And you need to know how to decipher them and then transfer that onto the kit. And you guys can do it. Some of the students that you're sending me videos and stuff, it's just insane what you guys are doing. I know you can do it if you put the time in. So keep practicing, keep working hard, and I'll see you guys in the next video.